Hey everyone, I'm Donna Amidon, your spiritual fitness coach, and today we're going to talk about putting our worries into God's hand. Let me ask you, do you ever feel overwhelmed by a situation? You want to pray. You know you should pray, but you feel stuck. I think we've all been there, and you may be there now. Well, today we're going to look at a story in 2 Kings that I discovered a few years ago, and I love these verses because they give us a profound picture of bringing our requests to God. Let me quickly set the stage. In 2 Kings, we meet King Hezekiah, who is under the deadly threat of the Assyrians. And on top of that, the Assyrian king sends this harsh message to Hezekiah, mocking him, mocking his faith, and mocking his God. I'll read part of the letter. 2 Kings 19:10 says, Hezekiah, do not let your God in whom you trust deceive you by promising that Jerusalem will not be given into the hand of the king of Assyria. In other words, he's saying, Hezekiah, you are a fool for trusting God. Don't think God's actually going to help you win. The letter continues, verse 11, Behold, you have heard what the kings of Assyria have done to all lands, devoting them to destruction. And shall you be delivered? Do you hear the tone? It's this message of harassment and of fear. It's aimed at chipping away at Hezekiah's faith. Now, I want to pause here and say that sometimes when we're facing a challenging situation, the biggest battle is not only what we're facing on the outside, but it's also what we're wrestling with within. It's that doubt from within. We'll question God's goodness. We become fearful and we want to give up. And though Hezekiah had every reason to feel this way, the response he made was incredible. What did he do? Verse 14 says, Hezekiah received the letter from the hand of the messenger and read it. And Hezekiah went up to the house of the Lord and spread it before the Lord. And Hezekiah prayed before the Lord. Picture it. Hezekiah reads the letter, and then rather than panicking or trying to find out all the answers, he goes to the temple of the Lord and literally spreads out this letter before the Lord. It's this picture of bringing his needs before the eyes of God. It was his way of saying, God, I'm not going to carry this in my own strength. I'm going to give this to you. I think Hezekiah's response may have been what Peter had in mind when he said, casting all your anxiety on the Lord, for he cares for you. Today, you may be feeling burdened by a situation. You may be feeling overwhelmed. You want to bring it to God, but sometimes it just feels so hard. Let me ask you, could this story be an example to you? Know this, God never intended for you to carry your burdens on your own. It's not his desire for you to feel worn out, for you to feel run down and stressed out and miserable. He loves you, and he invites you to bring your burdens to him. So here's my challenge for you today. Sometime, find a quiet place and lay your burden out before the Lord. Take it to him. You may want to speak it, you may want to type it, you may want to journal it, however you want to lay out your concerns before his eyes. Then, ask him for what you need and find comfort in the fact that he truly cares for you. Now go, win today with prayer.